Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Taylor Newcomb.
Well, making tough decisions is nothing new for commissioners, but some topics are more hotly debated than others. Well, guys, as you mentioned, there is an unusually large amount of mail-in ballots and a multitude of problems with those ballots. I'm actually here with Wichita County Judge Woody Gossam. Judge Gossam, can you just kind of outline to us what the problem is here and what you guys are dealing with? I'm here with MSU professor Dr. Steve Garrison. Dr. Garrison, I know we've talked about this before, but with how unusual and how crazy this election has been, what kind of precedents do you see this election setting for future elections? It may look a little bit quiet right now, but a little after 7 p.m., supporters for Wichita County Commissioner Precinct 1 candidate Mark Beecham will be showing up for a watch party.
You can put that
today.
to bed.
I think we're okay. Hey, but wait, weren't you the one last night that said you thought it might be an upset? And we said...
Hey,
we got
I'm much
back.
like...
I just have the urge right now to sing just the two of us.
We could have harmonized. We should have prepared. We're sorry. We should have done that for you guys. Yeah,
Tonight
next
at 10.
time. Tonight at 10.
Hopefully they don't change, or maybe they get warmer.
Or maybe it'll snow. Who knows?
Well, Matt, I'm out here in Davidson where there's still quite a bit of flooding on the side of the road, as you can see. I am out here in Lawton. I'm on the south side of Central Mall. Lawton got hit pretty heavily, like you said, with the storms earlier today.
And that's not the only bullet Trump has had to dodge today. Amid traveling around the country, he's also facing new questions emerging about him and his wife. The Bureau of Land Management is trying to seize up to 90,000 acres of land along the Red River, reaching across Wichita, Clay, and Wilbarger counties. Lawyer Rob Henneke calls surveys by the BLM overreaching and abusive. He represents 7 of the approximately 140 landowners along the river, many who are fighting for their homes.
What we're fighting for here is our clients' homes. Under the boundaries that the federal government is claiming, they literally encompass some of the houses that my clients live in. And this is outrageous. It's not what was decided by the Supreme Court. It's not the way that this part of Texas has been operating for nearly 100 years.
Now, starting this week and extending into early December, BLM surveyors are trying to figure out exactly where the boundary is and what land they can actually claim. Farmer Tommy Henderson has been fighting a similar battle since 1984. At that time, a group of Oklahoma landowners across the river sued him for occupying some of their land. When they went to court, the judge didn't award the land to either party. Instead, it was given to the BLM.
We feel like that it was really a terrible court case because I was not able to fight it appropriately, just simply due to lack of funds. Now we feel like BLM is going against what the Supreme Court has set out in 1923 is what the gradient boundary is.
That court case outlined the gradient boundary as very close to the vegetation line on the Texas side of the river.
We all agree BLM does have some property in this 116-mile stretch. We feel like it's a thin sliver of sand.
Meaning the BLM would only own about 1,000 acres total of the 116-mile stretch from the south side vegetation line to the north side vegetation line. Henderson's land has been surveyed 4 times, and of his original 135 acres, he's been able to purchase back 94 from the BLM. That process alone took 29 years. Although the ordeal has been frustrating for him, Henderson has some words of advice for the landowners currently battling the Bureau of Land Management.
You can do 2 things. You can be upset and angry and sit there and wallow in it, or you can figure out how can you make it good. Where is the good part of it at?
Henneke says his hope is for his clients to be able to enjoy their land and homes in peace. And with the trial set to take place in July 2017, landowners could finally see some sort of resolution sooner rather than later. Two said they've already filed an insurance claim. Some are just worried that even with a claim check, they may not be able to afford the repairs. Welcome to Sunset, Texas. It's a small town, but the damage from yesterday's hailstorm is big.
You could just hear the glass shattering. It was horrible. I've never heard hail like that. I've lived here all my life.
All the windows on the front of Kathy Ezel's house are busted, and she says it got so frightening she had to take shelter.
I grabbed all my dogs. I went to my closet because I didn't know if we had a tornado or what. I was thinking, am I going to make it through this? Is this out there? Is this just hail, or is there actually a tornado out there or what? Because I couldn't tell.
Ezel's not the only one. Many residents found holes in their home siding and busted windshields on their cars. Haley Hatchell says she and her family took shelter at a relative's. But when they came home, they found out their patio canopy had been shredded by hailstones.
Yes, it's all material things, but it takes you so long to get where you want to be, and then 20 minutes and it's destroyed, it's taken from you.
Residents now must begin the insurance claim process and then begin looking for reliable companies to do the repairs. They also hope they get a break from severe weather until those repairs are made. Paige Rigsby from Big Dogs Construction in Burke Burnett was among the first to arrive.
We just wanted to come down here and really help and to, get these things fixed so that people aren't having to live with, tarps on their windows and their roofs.
Although many residents say they've already filed insurance claims, they wonder if their checks will cover everything and if windows and roofs can be fixed before the next storm hits.
Closed adoption is becoming more and more rare.
That's right. In fact, according to a 2012 report by the Donaldson Adoption Institute, closed infant adoptions only happen about 5% of the time. According to Leslie Howard at Inheritance Adoptions here in Wichita Falls, open adoption is the new norm. The first known open adoption agency opened its doors in California in 1982.
30, 40 years ago, the birth mom didn't even get a chance to know if it was a boy or girl. They would just take the baby out of the hospital room and place the baby in a home, and a lot of times the child never even knew that they were adopted.
Now, she says, closed adoption is becoming a thing of the past. Although the decision ultimately lies with the birth family, Inheritance Adoption Wichita Falls actively advocates and promotes open adoption over closed.
We just don't believe that there's a place for secrets, and that open, honest communication is just really the only way to go.
15 years ago, as a high school student, Amanda Hansen found out she was pregnant.
My parents were very supportive of the fact that I just needed to pray about the situation and take it to God and make the decision on what we needed to do.
That's when she turned to Inheritance Adoptions. She looked at different couple profiles, but it wasn't until she was 8.5 months pregnant that she found her match.
I looked at several different profiles and different stories on couples, and whenever I saw the one on Linda and Olaf, I knew that they were the ones that were meant to be.
26 years ago, as newlyweds, we got married, and our dream was to start a family and to start it quickly. And 11 years into it, we finally gave up trying. We did everything that we could ourselves and with medicine, and we relinquished it to God.
So after years of trying, they decided to adopt, and they knew they wanted to keep it open.
We didn't want there to be any secrets. We didn't want there to be any questions, and we wanted our child to know the truth. There haven't been any questions, or we really haven't had any issues. It's really been beautiful.
So from the time Destiny was born, Amanda was part of her life, and Destiny's parents never tried to hide where she came from.
We tried to do that as soon as she was able to understand. That we talk about, what happened through the process and where she came from.
Destiny always knew Amanda as their very special family friend, and when she was 5, her parents decided it was time.
So we explained to her adoption, and then I said, do you want to know whose tummy you were born in? And she said yes, and I said Amanda's. And it was like Christmas morning for her.
Destiny says she doesn't remember that day specifically, but being adopted has never been something she's thought too much about.
I forget about it almost all the time. It's like I know that I'm adopted, but then it's not something that I think about all the time. It's just normal.
And although Amanda has gotten married and started a family of her own, she says the Cyclovitas family will always be part of her extended family.
You can still be a part of your child's life. They'll still know who you are. You can still see them grow up, but you can see them have the life that you want them to have.
If you are interested in adopting or giving your child up for adoption, the entire Cyclovitas family and Amanda recommend keeping it open. For more information about Inheritance Adoptions, you can visit their website or give them a call. And of course, all this information will be over on our website, texomashomepage.com.